2011 Hyundai Sonata GLS driving impressions. A week spent in Hyundai's Accord and Camry Fighter. Good morning, I'm Steve from LotPro.com with today's auto news. My first evaluation of a Hyundai Sonata took place back in 1990. Hyundai had loaned a couple of Sonatas to the company I was working for at the time for evaluation purposes. I was singled out to drive one home overnight and to report back on my impressions. The Sonata styling back then was bland, and the interior, although basic, wasn't totally offensive. Even the fabrics used in the interior were decent enough. Driving it, however, was quite another matter entirely. The steering was vague, the suspension was soft, and the brakes were barely up to the task. Opening the rear doors revealed two crudely finished welds, one on each side, which joined the two side body stampings together. The car was, in a word, awful. To top it off, while I was demonstrating to some friends the fold-down feature of the rear seat backs, the cloth loop attached to the side of one seat, which was designed to pull down the cushion, ripped off in my hand. So much for quality. But that was then, and this is now. The 2011 Hyundai Sonata needs to apologize to absolutely no one. Based on an all-new mid-size platform, the Sonata is just 1 inch longer, 1/10 of an inch wider, and 1/10 of an inch lower than its predecessor. However, the wheelbase has been lengthened 2.6 inches and its curb weight has been trimmed by 128 pounds. Unlike most sedans in the mid-size class that seem to prefer basking in their own anonymity, the most striking aspect of this newest Sonata is its exterior styling. Based on Hyundai's fluidic sculpture design language, the Sonata has a sleek, sophisticated, one might even say curvaceous exterior. The cab-forward design is accentuated by a steeply raked windshield, while its rakish demeanor is further enhanced by a body crease that begins about 1/3 of the way down and just forward of the front door that gently sweeps upward along the side of the body to just above the rear taillight, where it begins to angle down as it wraps around the trunk. The design is, in truth, unique for this class of vehicle. Fluidic sculpture may be a variation on a theme, but it's one that has previously only appeared on such vehicles as the Volkswagen CC and Mercedes-Benz CLS, vehicles costing anywhere from $10,000 to $54,000 more than a Sonata. Now, nearly as striking as its exterior, the Sonata's twin cockpit interior makes liberal use of soft touch surfaces, even on our base GLS example. Dark gray, what Hyundai calls metal grain, is used as accent trim around the dashboard vents and door latches, and is a welcome respite from the hard plastics and fake wood used by many other automakers in this segment. All controls, by the way, are intuitive and within easy reach of the driver, while the switchgear itself is buttery smooth. Despite the fact that our Venetian Red GLS is considered a base model, it certainly came well equipped. Standard features included power windows, locks, and heated outside mirrors. A tilt and telescoping steering wheel with integrated cruise, audio, and phone controls are also part of this base model. GLS buyers will also find that solar glass, air conditioning, and a 6-speaker audio system with CD, XM satellite radio, Bluetooth, iPod, and auxiliary input jacks are standard as well. Safety equipment includes a full complement of 6 airbags, 4-wheel disc brakes with ABS, traction control, and vehicle stability control. My week's worth of driving in the Sonata also included a road trip to Chicago. On the highway, the Sonata suspension soaked up pretty much everything the freeways of Michigan, Indiana, and Illinois threw at it. In Chicago itself, the GLS was able to handle all but the most pothole-riddled streets. It was in no doubt aided by the fact that its standard steel wheels are wrapped with higher sidewall P205/65R16 tires, insulating its occupants even further from many of the city's moonscape-like thoroughfares. As I've stated before, electric steering, unlike a conventional hydraulic setup, has to be fine-tuned in order to give the proper amount of feedback to the driver. In the case of the Sonata, the engineers at Hyundai have done their homework. The end result is a feel that might seem a bit light to hardcore drivers, but to me has just the right amount of feel, especially for urban driving. As for pricing, the 2011 Sonata starts at $19,395 for a GLS model equipped with a manual transmission. Our GLS Automatic had a base price of $20,195. Carpeted floor mats at $100, an iPod cable $35, and a destination charge of $720 brought the grand total of this particular Sonata GLS to a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $21,050. That price, by the way, is $3,300 less than a comparably equipped Toyota Camry LE and $1,700 less than a Honda Accord LX. An Accord, by the way, that lacks both Bluetooth capability and satellite radio and comes equipped with a 5-speed versus the Sonata's 6-speed automatic transmission. So, here, as I see it, is the bottom line. A year ago, sales of this Hyundai were roughly half of both the Accord and Camry. So far this year, Sonata has been selling at a rate 2/3 that of the Camry and 3/4 that of the Accord. Although there are other variables to consider, such as a new Camry coming out this fall, I predict that it won't be long until the Sonata sales catch up to both Camry and Accord. The coming of the 2011 Sonata signals that Hyundai is ready to play with both the Camry and Accord, two vehicles that pretty much had the sandbox all to themselves, at least until now. This is Steve from LotPro.com. Have a great day.